Hello everyone, in this video we will start chapter 6, the second law of thermodynamics, and we will introduce it during this chapter. We will talk about different statements of the second law of thermodynamics, and we will introduce the Carnot cycle. So for introduction of the second law, take a look at this simple example. So if you have a hot cup of coffee, right, and then you put it in a room temperature, what happens to the temperature of that coffee? Everyone answers that the temperature goes down, right? So now consider that you have this cup of coffee which is cold, and then you put it in a room that, I don't know, it's 20 degrees Celsius, right? Would you expect that coffee to get warmer and the temperature of coffee increases until it boils? The answer is no, right? So what I mean with these examples is that the processes have a certain direction. It doesn't happen in both directions. If you put this hot coffee in a room, the direction is such that the temperature of the coffee drops to the room temperature, right? But it doesn't happen in a reverse direction. So processes have a direction, and that is one of basically important parts of second law of thermodynamics. Remember the first law, we were talking about the quantity of the energy and how the quantity of the energy is conserved. So in the second law of thermodynamics, we did talk about the quality of the energy and the certain direction of the energy that can happen. Another example, look at this figure that you have basically a box that you have a paddle wheel attached to this box, and if the weight which is attached to this paddle wheel, if it goes down, then the shaft rotates and produce some heat inside this box, and the temperature goes up. Now let's think another way. So can you add heat to this paddle wheel and produce some work here? The answer is no, right? Because processes have a certain direction, and that is governed by second law of thermodynamics. So the second law of thermodynamics will talk about the direction of the processes. It will talk about the quality of the energy. So not all the energies have the same quality. We will mention that the high temperature systems have a better quality energy compared to low temperature systems. And it will talk about also the performance of different devices and how much they are limited in terms of performance, which is basically we will talk about the energies. Now, for a process to happen, it should satisfy both first law of thermodynamics and also the second law of thermodynamics. So the first law of thermodynamics is not enough for a process to happen. You should satisfy both the first law, which is the quantity of the energy conservation, and the second law, which will talk about the direction and quality of the energy. So both of these two laws should be satisfied in order for a process to be completed. Now, before starting talking about different engineering devices and applying the second law of thermodynamics, we need to introduce one concept, which is the thermal energy reservoirs. Thermal energy reservoir is a reservoir which has a very large thermal energy capacity. So what is energy capacity? The energy capacity is usually shown with C. It's equal to